Welcome back to Knots Tonight, and the half of the proceedings which bring a little bit more discussion to the news. Joining me for this and that this evening are two Knots locals, writer and lover of the old mother's ruin, Michelle Varney, and magician, Roy Bond. Good evening. Now, today is a day that would have been unrecognisable to somebody a few years ago, and it's World Emoji Day. Yes, it's always a World something day, isn't it? But whether your most used is a winking face, an angry grimace, or maybe a waggy dog, there seem to be more and more of them every single day. In fact, we've even managed to turn our guests into emojis. Let's have a little look. Oh, that's you, Michelle. I wonder who's put the devil horns on you. They've even got the right colours, haven't they? Red and black.
I love that.
What about you, Roy? Should we have a look at? Can we see Roy's
see.
emoji? Oh, very nice.
There we go.
Looks like Heston Blumenthal.
I should get the...
The one of me looked more like Richard Bacon. Let's have a look at that one if we can.
Oh no, no.
I'd be quite pleased if I looked like that. You see the sort of 9 o'clock shadow got through there. What about emojis? Because I think, particularly people of a generation that maybe didn't even used to text until a couple of years ago, are starting to use emojis, and it's really funny when your uncle sends you a winky face or a kiss or something like that. But what about you? Do you tend to use them? I know you're quite a literary woman, Michelle.
Yes, I tend not to use them, but there is sometimes when only a sort of face palm is, needs to be sent. But I tell you what, I tried to use the other week that I haven't got, a rubber duck. I wanted a rubber duck emoji, and there isn't one.
Were you inviting someone round to share your bath?
That's it. No, somebody was saying that I can't make it, I'm in the bath, and I was just going to send a rubber duck emoji.
What about you, Roy?
I'm a bit like... you'd get annoyed watching me try to use emojis. I'm like a sloth. So you're better off just coming round my house and let me tell you what I want to say.
Or sending a carrier pigeon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, to be easier.
I'm quite a literate... I'm the kind of guy that will send a text and make sure the spelling's correct and all.
Of course.
That's just me. But emojis, yeah, never caught on with me.
Yeah, it's quite odd though, isn't it? Because, I mean, the ancient Egyptians used to use hieroglyphics, and then we moved on to create written language, and now we're going back to hieroglyphics
again. See, this is the thing about life. Everything goes in cycles, including Doctor Who, but not in this case, because the 13th Doctor was announced yesterday, and it's Jodie Whittaker, formerly of Broadchurch. She'll be the first female ever to play the character since the television series began in 1963. And whilst quite a few people have praised the BBC, rejoiced at the announcement, others weren't quite so happy. Some critics said that Doctor Who had been robbed of his essence to please a bunch of feminists. Let's have a look at the moment it was revealed. So that was Doctor Who being robbed of his essence to please a bunch of feminists. What did you make of it?
Well, I think considering he's an alien shape changer, I think we're just quite lucky that he didn't turn into an octopus or something, if they're going to get like that. Why on earth not? What on earth is the problem?
Because he's always been a man.
Yes, and it always used to be men who did things, but come on, we're in the 21st century.
Yeah, right.
Things have moved on. We had the reboot of Ghostbusters, all women. Some people didn't like that.
Not as good. Not as good. It wasn't. I'll put it out there. It wasn't as good, but yeah.
But why can't it? Why does it have to be? Why does it have to be men?
It's a long time coming, isn't it?
Did these people complain about Wonder Woman being played by a woman?
I was just thinking, though, if we start inverting the sexes of these superheroes, we're going to have Mr. Marple, we'll have Super Grandad.
We could have Wonder Man.
We could have Wonder Man, but then we've got Superman as well.
It was a bit leaked, like most things are these days, but was it, I mean, whenever you first heard about it, was it a surprise to you, Roy and Michelle? Was it a surprise that it was a woman?
I was not surprised. I did think about time, and I did think, why? It never occurred to me. It's never occurred to me. But then I'm thinking, why didn't it occur to me 15, 20 years ago? Or
precisely.
And it's just been one of those things that you take it as it is. I don't watch a lot of TV anyway, but when I found out, I thought,
But then this last series has just had the wonderful Missy, who was another reincarnation of the Master. So I think that was a big hint, you know. She's been in the last 2 series.
You're clearly a big fan of it.
I love Doctor Who. I used to be very scared of it, and then my grandmother banned me from watching it. And even when I'd go round and see her, and I was 21 and it was on, she'd still turn the telly over.
It did used to be very scary. I used to have to hide behind my copy of the Evening Post, as it was in those days. I wonder what you think of the new Doctor.
If the Doctor's going to keep regenerating like he does, then eventually he's going to turn into a woman into somewhere along the line.
Well, why not have a female? It's a different thing and it changes things up a little bit, and women are great, so why not?
Now swapping it to a woman is quite of a big change, and there's a sudden. It could have been done gradually, like including woman more and more, then change her, but put her straight away like a Doctor Who for a woman. It's not going to be okay.
Women need to be represented in everything equally to men, so it's long overdue, yeah.
Jodie Whittaker, very, very striking lady. Used to work in Broadchurch, but now she's going to make people aware that she's better than Broadchurch.
The Doctor's always been male, and it's a history of Doctor Who which I think might be better maintained, but we don't know how it's going to go. So maybe a female change is, a welcome one.
And of course, it begs the question, doesn't it, of the other characters and how they might evolve or develop in a way that perhaps wasn't always expected. Because am I right in thinking Doctor Who always had a female assistant?
From what I can remember, they've had men and women. I mean, look at Captain Jack. Going back to further times, Sylvester McCoy had a bloke with him as well, I think, for a while.
I met him
Peter Purvis as well.
I met him in the Castle Pit a few months ago, Sylvester McCoy. He was at a Doctor Who convention.
Oh, he's lovely, isn't he?
Just very quickly, favourite Doctor?
Oh, Peter Capaldi so far.
Pertwee.
For me, it's got to be Tom Baker. Now, watching television is as popular as ever, and its star doesn't seem to be fading. You only had to scroll through Twitter today to see the unbridled excitement at the return of Game of Thrones this evening. But there are some more traditional pursuits which are dying out, as you saw earlier with the Farnsfield Bowls Club.
Some clubs are growing, many aren't, and the clubs that grow are the ones who include top-class bowling, coaching, and very much social bowling, so that so many people play to enjoy.
Well, we're a small village, really, and we realised that the facilities in the village of our size are, in general, they're excellent. And to maintain that, you can't just assume that it's going to happen. You've got to actually work at it.
It's good for the whole body, really, because you're walking as well as bending and reaching and bowling, but it's also very social. I mean, you don't generally have a conversation when you are bowling, but afterwards, or tea break, is really nice. People, like to get together, and so we can have a chat. Oh, just missed.
Well, it's such a good game. It's such a game I love. I'd like more people to enjoy it and get the pleasures that I have. And I have to say, in recent years, we've managed to increase the number of people from this locality to join in with the club, join in the game. And as you can see, there's so many people having a happy time, enjoyable time. The sun today is perfect. It's not always like this. We can play in the rain as well. But today is absolutely joyful and perfect and a lovely environment to be in.
Strikes me as a pretty relaxing pastime, actually, doesn't it, Crown Green bowling? It must be really rather nice. I would enjoy doing that, and just the smell of the grass and being out there. But we do live in a very fast and very digital age, and so many of these traditional pursuits have gone out the window. Are there any particularly that you perhaps remember doing, Roy, as a child, games or sports or activities that you lament the death of?
As a child, I was partially brought up at the East Coast, and there was Crown Green bowling there, and we used to, as kids, just hire the woods and just mess around. And croquet. Croquet.
I used to love playing croquet.
Yeah. And obviously, with a lot of tennis clubs now, not so much having sort of grass, they go onto clay courts. So obviously tennis and croquet were always quite tight because that's what Wimbledon started as a croquet court. That's it came before tennis, so they've always been kind of close. But as these places close down, croquet, you need to buy a stately home really, and just have your own.
We used to play croquet in our garden.
Yeah.
But it was very annoying occasionally because the balls used to fall in the swimming pool. It's dreadful. Michelle, now you have actually on display here some of your beautiful little embroidered cards, one of which you gave me very kindly, I think, at Christmas time. But you've mixed together the two subjects today. Because can we just have a little look? Can we have a little look at what Michelle has... Home is where the TARDIS is. That's fantastic.
That took quite a while because there was a lot of counting, you know, so it does try and keep you calm, so you have to be calm to do it. But, yeah, that was a present for a friend. It's a Doctor Who fan.
Needless to say, things like that and crafts, and even knitting to an extent, although I know it's had a bit of a resurgence, have been replaced for so many people by the tablet, by the phone and all the rest of it. But you find that actually is quite a nice leveller for you, don't you? It
is quite calming. You can sit there and you can, you know, watch TV, listen to the radio. You're doing it. You're actually involved in the world rather than sat there with a tablet right up there. And it's... also, it's something that you can give to people and you keep it, and it's a permanent thing. And I think it's also a bit cheaper. I don't have to spend £4 on a card. I can spend an hour stitching one of these, make one of these. There you go. And everybody seems to like it. And my mum is now keeping all the cards that I've given her, which is, and I'm hoping that she'll get rid of that snowman I made when I was 11 now for the Christmas tree.
Collector's item.
Well,
I still have my old Christmas decorations, but I made about 4 that come out at Christmas still. A few of them are rather good, I have to say. And Roy, you sit there shuffling your deck, don't you?
I do, yeah, and kind of researching bits and bobs. And
we are going to see a little bit of your magic and also hear about something rather exciting that's happened in your career in a few moments' time. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, Magic with Roy. Can't wait.
The Eve mattress with next-generation memory foam. If we were really confident, we'd give you a 30-day trial. So here's a 100-day trial. Eve. Order online at evemattress.co.uk.
That smell isn't your teenager. Dettol washing machine cleaner kills 99.9% of bacteria, leaving your machine hygienically cleaner and fresher.
First duty of the day is to attend a briefing to find out what lies in the day ahead. The role is varied, with no 2 days being the same. This is me, Michael, and I'm a civil enforcement officer working for Community Protection, Nottingham City Council. Can you make a difference to the city? Apply online today or go to our website to find out more.
Introducing our new Surf detergent range.
Could you beat the energy price rises, Steve? With U-Switch, yes you can. Boom! Game time, baby.
U-Switch. Switching made simple.
Take a hot pan. Fresh ingredients. Let the show begin. Your seafood will sing, your asparagus will shine, but don't let burnt butter spoil the show. New Bertolli with butter and olive oil for a rich buttery taste without burning.
Glasses. Direct to your door. Go to Glasses Direct and before you buy, try them on at home for free. And right now, get 2 pairs from £19 with lenses. You should go direct to glassesdirect.co.uk. Enter our new age of smoothness with new Veet Easy Gel Wax Strips. They capture even more of the shortest hairs for up to 28 days of smoothness. Easy Gel Wax, a unique gel formulation for our best cold wax strips ever. And for your face, try the new Veet Face Easy Gel Wax Strips.
Trent Law Solicitors deliver excellent legal services at an affordable cost, including business, property, family, employment, personal injury, and immigration law. We know how important it is to keep you up to date with all areas of your case, so we guarantee a same working day response, quick turnarounds, and fixed fee prices where possible. Trent Law Solicitors. Visit trentlaw.co.uk.
Elmley, specially for me and you. It's so tasty, really delicious too. With strawberries, cakes and mousses, so many possible uses. Elmley tastes sweet, a welcome treat on a pudding that's made for two.
Elmley, the taste of summer.
If you love pies, then this is the competition for you. Pie Fest is coming to Melton Mowbray, and you can win tickets. We've got 3 chances to win a family ticket for 5 to Pie Fest in Melton Mowbray, the UK's capital of pies. To enter and read all the terms and conditions, go to notstv.com/win.
Welcome back to Not Tonight. With me this evening, a magician Roy Bond and writer Michelle Varney. Now, in just a few days' time, Woollerton Park will be full of festival goers enjoying Splendour 2017. But next month, there's a celebration of a different kind. The Summer Nights Film Festival will be taking place, an event where you can bring along your picnic and enjoy a classic movie on the big screen. Well, joining me now to tell you a little bit more about that is Andrew Lindley from the festival's tech squad. Hello.
Hello there.
I can't think of anything nicer than sitting in that beautiful park with a great big picnic, a couple of bottles of fizz and watching a film. It sounds perfect.
Yeah, well, that's what it's all about, really. Pick some kind of feel-good films, put it on in really nice, beautiful heritage locations, very often trying to match the film with the location. So Woollerton Hall, for example, is Wayne Manor in Dark Knight Rises.
Of course, yeah.
So you're kind of seeing Wayne Manor on the screen, and then you're seeing Woollerton Hall. And we're also screening Jurassic Park this year to kind of tie into the exhibition, the dinosaur exhibition that Woollerton Park have got on. And Clumber Park will be screening Robin Hood, as it's in Sherwood Forest. So try and match it up the best we can to make the experience great.
I was going to suggest that you put 50 Shades of Grey on, but I think you might get a slightly different audience.
People would probably still love it.
Can you imagine? on a massive screen. Also, though, I mean, for me, it's such an idyllic setting, isn't it? But I mean, how big is the screen? Because you're going to have a... Well, actually, if you look at it next to those really mature trees, it looks massive, doesn't it?
Yeah, so we use an inflatable screen that's about 15 metres wide. Inflatable and 10 metres tall. So if it rains, we can cope with it. We have a bit of a light pre-show entertainment with rock choir. We have the guys that come and dress up as various Star Wars characters, get photo opportunities. A lot of Prosecco's consumed.
Oh, wow.
It's just a real kind of festival vibe rather than a cinema vibe, and that's why it works.
Should we go down there? I was going to say you sold it really well. You didn't need to sell it to me. I was really want to do it. It must be quite a feat to organise, and of course in Britain, it being Britain, you can never guard against the old precipitation. What happens if it rains? You just weather it and stick up your brolly.
Yeah, we power through, British style. Just carry on. If it gets really windy, it gets a bit more tricky, but generally speaking, it doesn't actually rain that much. We've got the stats, and we've never had to stop for rain. And people get their umbrellas out, and people just keep having a drink and carrying on, really, as you do.
I'd have to be very careful, of course, in windy conditions, because I tend to lose my hairpiece quite easily. I don't want it ending up in somebody's feta cheese salad.
I'd have a waterproof hat just in case. Apart from that, be fine.
A little bonnet. Roy, are you a film fan? Do you fancy this?
Yeah, I fancy that. We should get free tickets, shouldn't we? We should get free tickets. Give me a call, I'll bring you down.
Yeah.
Hey, there we are. You heard it here. Free tickets.
We'll get a party.
What's the point in being in the media if you can't blag stuff? That's my motto. And just talk a little bit then, finally, about some of the other stuff that you can go and see. Have you mentioned all the films that are going to be on at Wallerton Park?
So I think we're showing Moulin Rouge, Jurassic Park, Dark Knight Rises, the new Star Wars, which I can't remember the name of, Rogue One.
You love your sci-fi, don't you?
I do. Strong female character as well.
Fantastic films. They work great outdoors as well, getting the cinema rumble, you know, it echoes around the trees, so you get that kind of ambience that you don't usually get in the cinema, and you can feel people jump in. And
can you imagine watching Jurassic Park when the lights go down and then you might hear the sound of a T-Rex in the bushes? That's going to frighten some kids. It's going to be fabulous.
There's got to be some guy in a suit coming out as a dinosaur.
You can do that.
Roy can do magic, can't he? Andrew, thanks so much for coming in, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Next then, businesses from across the county are preparing for this year's annual Dragon Boat race at the Riverside Festival. Earlier, you heard from Lauren Podmore from BWB Consulting about how the preparations are going.
Won't really set in until the day and on the start line, and then after the first race I'll be fine. At the moment it's kind of anxious excitement, but I will be nervous because I do take it very seriously and I am extremely competitive.
That's what we like to hear. Now, so this is one of the things we're curious about. Why did you decide to get involved with the boat race, other than the fact that you just said you were quite competitive? Why'd you get involved?
It was just a couple of years ago, an email went round at the office and they were looking for a couple of extra paddlers, so I said I'll give it a go, and I enjoyed it so much that I decided I want to do a bit more of this, so I just went down to Knots Anaconda and just carried on paddling, and it does get quite addictive, and I've got such a brilliant circle of friends. It's a fantastic team sport, so really looking forward to the day.
Now, no one likes a show-off, do they? But this is something really worth shouting about. You've seen his magic skills, I hope, a number of times on Knots TV, and he continues to blow audiences away with his talent. But now he's been recognised by his industry, and he's one of the latest members to join the Magic Circle. Roy, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So you weren't a member of this intimate brotherhood the last time we spoke?
No, I've been a member of the Nottingham Guild ever since I've been a magician. And it's funny that this has come up because on my audition for the Magic Circle, they wanted to know why at this time did I want to join. And it was just because it was there. It was just because a lot of my clients kind of asked me if I'm a member of the Magic Circle, and rather than me try to explain that I'm with the Guild of Magicians, which in my opinion is just as good, it's just closer to home. I can just say I'm a member of the Magic Circle. They know with that comes a certain degree of reliability and a certain degree of skill, and a little bit of cachet, yeah. And so I went for it for that. I went for it for the experience to see if I was good enough.
What did you have to do to get in?
It
was like the Masons.
Well, it was
to bare your nipple.
Couldn't possibly tell you which one. I've got two. I've got three here. But no. So it was basically a 12-minute audition and an interview and a vetting process where they sort of ask you why you want to join and prepared to keep the secrets and stuff like that. And
so that's about a lot of it, isn't it? Is keeping the secrecy.
Yeah, I've got access now to a lot of work that previously I didn't have access to. And there's a museum at the HQ in London that the public are allowed to go around. But now I've got access to doors that are closed to public. So.
We know that you're a man of fine magical calibre. Let's have another example of the sort of things that you wow audiences with, and which gained you entry into the Magic Circle.
I thought I would give you an abridged version of my audition, one of my audition pieces, which is. Would you like to just check these before we go any further?
Honestly, Michelle, this is money for old rope, isn't it?
It is money for old rope. I'll give you another one. I'll take that one from you. The thing with this is. once it's been examined, your cameramen aren't going to like me for this. By which camera am I on? Is it 4?
We'll follow you.
Well, you follow me then, because we have 3 pieces of rope. Would you just check, Michelle, that I know it sounds ridiculous that there's no magnets or Velcro in the ends of the rope or anything built in?
No, I can't feel a thing.
Good. Would you check the other ends as well?
Yeah.
And when the rope changes, Michelle, into 3 pieces that are roughly the same size, does that bother you slightly?
It does. How much gin did I have?
We have a medium-sized piece and another one.
No, you see, I was watching that and I didn't see what he did. I didn't see how he did.
You have to watch me like a walker. I can take this one away. That was the long piece, and then all we have left is 2 pieces of rope. The ends of the rope don't stick. They really don't. If I were to take the rope and just let it fall, though, it would.
Oh no! Listen, we saw that happen.
Nothing up his sleeve.
No sleeves whatsoever. I mean, for you, for where you're sitting, Richard, we can try this. Forget the scissors because it is. Let me just try something. How many pieces of rope in my left hand?
2.
Definitely 2. If I tie them together in front of you while you watch and simply swap them from my left into my right, how many pieces of rope do I have now?
2.
It's definitely 2. Unless, of course, Michelle, you were to do that. Perfect. Because, again, it was definitely 2, but it does start to one pretty quick.
That hurts my head.
Does it really? How many ends do I have?
2.
Not all the time. So I end up with a loop of rope. The only thing is with the loop, I can't do a lot with the loop, you see. So I'll put the ends back on for you because you're probably dying to check it with the ends back on. Would you check it with the ends back on and just make sure everything's good with it?
Yeah, and they don't even fall apart.
Listen, that happened in front of us, didn't it? We actually saw that happen in front of us.
They'll be watching at home saying it's camera trickery.
No, there's no
camera
trick.
trickery.
All live.
So have we got a bit more time? Can I go a little bit further?
How long have we got? Minute and a half.
Minute and a half. Static electricity may play a part in this.
Okay.
A bit like rubbing a balloon. You've got great hair for that, by the way. I have hairy arms, which is just as good. Like rubbing a balloon in your hair, you get the same sort of static build-up, and we use it for that. So I have spare ends, and versatile's a great word, isn't it? I mean, when they're on, when you're off, you can put them on. When they're on, you can take them off. I really don't mind. I can slow this down or speed it up. I mean, I suppose at this point you'd rather me slow down.
I want to see it.
Okay, in that case, this is the rope as it stands. That's the middle of the rope. The middle of the routine. We're going to put the middle of the rope back on. It goes round the middle, funny enough, just there. And to finish off, we can make all 3 pieces back to the same size by simply adding them all together, shuffling them up, and asking you one last question. Which do you think, in your opinion, do you think was the long piece of rope? I'll give you a bit of a hint, but don't always go for the obvious. Which do you think it might have been?
Ooh, I'm going to go for that one.
Hold on to it. Yeah. Would you lift the end to about this high for me in front of the camera? You'll notice it grows quite quickly. We have a long piece, we have a short piece, we have a medium piece. That's the end of the routine. We're finished.
That's incredible. I can't quite believe it.
I can't believe it.
I always thought there was some sort of trickery or something like that involved, but no, it actually happened in front of us.
Misdirection, you expect to see misdirection, but...
I can understand why you got admitted to the Magic Circle. That's all for now. What an incredible finale. Thanks to Michelle and to Roy, and from me, goodbye. Goodbye.